Dr. Akim Baba discloses the kind of person Peter Obi happens to be after spending time with him. The Northern Nigerian leader, elder statesman, who currently holds the position of the Northern Elders Forum Director of Publicity and Advocacy, Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed, has taken to the social media community to disclose to the general public the kind of person the Labour Party presidential candidate Mr. Peter Obi happens to be after spending some quality moments with him hours ago. Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed took to his Twitter official handle to tell Nigerians and others in the countries across the globe that Peter Obi is not someone some people think he is. He said, having spent quality time with him, he found out that Peter Obi is not an ethnic leader, and he wished those who see him as one could get to know him better. Hakim Baba also made it known that he could see a revolution in this country if Nigerians could see and study candidates up close. I spent valuable time with Mr. Peter Obi this morning. I wish those who see him as an ethnic candidate can get to know him better. I also wish those who try to sell him will tone down his ethnic identity. I hope the nation will see the candidates up close. We could see a revolution. A very much positive comments from this man. With the whole ethnic thing, I think it's obviously an argument, of course, as we know, with IPOB, with the Southeast and Igbo presidency has been in conversation for the last few years. That would obviously be an argument used against the only presidential candidate that is actually from the Southeast. So yes, I think we cannot expect that argument will not be used against them, given the context of the conversations that we've had around Igbo presidency for the last few years. And yes, I think it's very much positive, as he says. I hope the nation will see candidates up close. Absolutely. We have three options. We have Atiku, we have Tinubu, and we have Peter Obi, so we have to see them up close. Fortunately for Nigerians, the first two, Tinubu and Atiku, we have seen them up close for the past how many years. They have been in political parties that have been in power and have been dominant in certain states and regions of the country, and have also been in the presidential seat and being the ruling parties at one time or the other. So for the fact that we've had experience with these two, this is now an opportunity where it is fair for us to get Peter Obi better and know him in comparison to Peter Obi. I mean, again, we have to be specific. It's not a thing where it's alleged, or it's not a thing where we can't name names, or we know who the presidential candidates are. So it is safe for us to draw up conclusions and draw up comparisons with the three of them. So yeah, I think studying them up close, I mean, it's pretty obvious who beats everyone hands down. But again, saying that would seem like I'm trying to sway anyone's opinion, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying, if we study your candidates up close, there could be a revolution. And that is true. And the revolution right now, in which other political parties or ruling parties and opposition are very scared of, is that Nigerians are actually taking their time and are choosing to go get their voters' cards, which is a big threat to parties who have not necessarily depended on votes to get to where they are. So yeah, it is very scary. I mean, someone on the SCM, I think, Keyamo, came out to say that people going to get their voters cards as a way of revolt. They are in La La Land, and for the fact that he interprets the mass registration of voters cards as a revolt, then it seems that they know what is coming when Nigerians are willing to put in their energy and are willing to change their approach to get an outcome that they actually desire. So yes, if it's a threat, well, I guess that's what the revolution is, because to those that the revolution is against, or the revolution is not in support of, it will seem like a revolt to you. And so yes, for a revolution to happen to those that are threatened of it, it will look like a revolt. So Nigerians are now understanding the importance of their votes. Nigerians are taking their power back and actually realizing that the power is within them. The power actually lies with them. So it should not be a problem for them to want to go and vote and change the outcome of things. Someone here says, Opponents attack Peter Obi with ethnic bias, but ask yourself, why are all the political heavyweights in the southeast against him? Peter Obi is for the suffering masses in Sokoto, Jigawa, Kano, Ajegunle, Orile, Oshun, Oyo, Onitsha, Nsukka, Aba. Do not be deceived. All the political juggernauts in the north, south, east, and west are united in enslaving us. Unless we free ourselves, youth, this is our chance. Do not sell your votes to a peanut sum to them. When an educated and exposed person talks, you will know that all these blind fools that enjoy suffering, who allow themselves to be enveloped by ethnicity. Thanks, sir. You are my role model. Someone says because a Fulani because a Fulani man is speaking with objectivity and out of bias, does that mean that he's now or all Fulani men are the same? And it's just like it's very sad that someone would say that, because it's not like we're trying to fight ethnic bias, and that's kind of comment that you make. I mean, positively, I mean, negative and positive. When something or someone does something that has an identity, a major identity that covers for a large mass of people, it's not unlikely we are humans that would attach such characteristics the to the mass of people and their identity, and say this characteristic goes with this personality of this kind of people. So yeah, that kind of comment is a bit counterproductive. It's a bit unnecessary, because it's like, why? Yeah, PDP and APC both failed Nigerians, and the only way to make politicians know that Nigerians own the country is to abandon the two. Fantastic. God bless this commenter. Literally, they both failed Nigerians, and the only way to make politicians know that Nigerian own the country is to abandon the two. Exactly. The power of the people is greater than the people in power. The power lies within the people. We need to harness the power and move with the power that you have. Freedom is taken. You don't ask to be free. You are already free. You make yourself free despite the odds. So yes, very, very true. I think, we Nigerians are coming to terms with the fact that, okay, let's actually do some reevaluations here. Okay, let's actually explain who the real owners are, who the power actually belongs to, who is working for who we are. So it's, I think, yeah. I think we need to correct some misinterpretations as to who owns what, and as to who who who's bargaining power, and who has bargaining power and higher bragging rights or power rights. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe